Welcome to the show. Before we get started, please make sure you have subscribed to the channel and like and give us a thumbs up on the video. So, with all things PR, marketing, and advertising related, we're always discussing fact versus fiction. What's really true and what's not. So recently, in a conversation with a science PR colleague, we got to chatting about what are things our bodies can actually live without. So in this episode, we're going to dive right in and take a look at 5 organs your body can live without. The human body is a complex biological system, and it can't function without certain vital organs, such as the brain, heart, and lungs. But not all organs are essential. In fact, some can be removed with limited complications or drawbacks. These organs are sometimes vestigial remnants from our ancestors that have evolved to have little to no use today. Other expendable organs provide some benefits but can still be removed or replaced without causing harm. Here are 5 organs the human body can live without. I think the first one is very common, and many people know this already. Your appendix. The appendix is a small, narrow pouch that hangs off the digestive tract in the right side of the abdomen. The Cleveland Clinic estimates 5% of the U.S. population will at one point suffer from a condition called acute appendicitis, in which the organ swells and can potentially burst, spewing toxins throughout the body. At the first sign of appendicitis, it's common to remove the appendix through a procedure called an appendectomy, which leaves behind a small scar but usually has little impact on the body. The medical community has researched the appendix quite extensively to determine its purpose, and for many years, experts believe the organ evolved to be entirely vestigial. It was theorized to have been used by our primate ancestors to help them digest leaves. But recent studies suggest the appendix may actually perform a useful, albeit inessential function. Some newer theories suggest the appendix acts as a host for good bacteria, which are essential for proper gut function. If true, it means the organ can help replenish the colon when its good bacteria numbers get low. So another theory is that the appendix may actually have a negative immune effect, as it's considered a potential risk factor for developing ulcerative colitis and inflammatory bowel disease. So while scientists are still studying the purpose of the appendix, what we do know is you can live a perfectly healthy life without it. Number 2, the spleen. The spleen is an important part of the body's immune system, but if it's removed, other organs can step in and perform its duties. The spleen, which is roughly the size of a fist, is located in the upper left portion of the abdomen, behind the left set of ribs. It works hard to keep the body healthy, as it contains white blood cells that can be used to fight off infection. The spleen also helps control and manage the levels of the various types of blood cells in your body, and filters blood to remove old damaged blood cells. If the spleen ruptures, for instance, due to blunt force trauma to the abdomen, you will likely need to have it removed. In addition, an enlarged spleen may accidentally start to filter out healthy blood cells, which can cause serious immune problems such as anemia. Thankfully, the spleen can often be removed with a relatively uninvasive keyhole surgery called a laparoscopic splenectomy, which doesn't require any large cuts. Once the spleen is taken out, the liver steps up to fill the void, as it can also manage and filter blood cells. 3. Adenoids. Adenoids are lumps of tissue located behind the nose and above the roof of the mouth. These tiny organs perform a key function in children, trapping harmful bacteria that would otherwise be swallowed and cause illness. But as we get older, our adenoids perform less of a vital role and become entirely vestigial once we reach adulthood. They shrink and can even disappear by age 13. The downsides to having adenoids is they can become infected and swollen, which may develop into a chronic condition for some. This may obstruct your ability to breathe properly, cause issues with the sinuses, and even contribute to worsening cases of sleep apnea and loud snoring. Should this happen, you can always have them removed with an adenoidectomy, a relatively simple surgery that people generally recover from in a matter of days or weeks. The procedure can be a no-brainer in adulthood, by which time the adenoids no longer serve a purpose. But even children can benefit from adenoid removal, as it can lead to clearer breathing and fewer sinus infections. So adenoids are a very small part of the immune system, and the body has plenty of other ways to stave off illness. Next up, the gallbladder. The gallbladder is a pear-shaped organ located underneath the liver. Its primary use is to store, and when the time is right, release bile, a digestive fluid produced by the liver that helps break down fatty foods. After you eat, bile drains from the gallbladder and is carried over to the small intestine through the biliary tract. So once it reaches the small intestine, the bile helps break down any fats you've consumed. This process leaves the gallbladder drained it will fill up with bile again as the liver continues to produce more. Unfortunately, the gallbladder is susceptible to several diseases such as the development of gallstones, pebble-like objects that can cause pain and inflammation. The people may also experience a blockage within the gallbladder and in rare cases can develop gallbladder cancer. Should the need arise, you can undergo this is a little tough to say, it's a cholecystectomy to have the gallbladder removed. Without a gallbladder, bile simply skips over the storage process and flows directly from the liver into the digestive system. The main potential drawback is that it can be more difficult to digest fats. So people without a gallbladder are generally advised to avoid greasy food. The Cleveland Clinic suggests that fat calories should take up no more than 30% of your diet if you're lacking a gallbladder. This shouldn't be too drastic a change for most people, as the dietary guidelines for the general population recommend getting about 20 to 35% of your daily calories from fat. And finally, your colon. This is a very surprising one. The colon is a long tube located at the end of the digestive tract and is part of the large intestine. Its purpose is to receive digested food from the intestine, absorb nutrients and water, and finally to pass along remaining waste to the rectum. Despite these important functions, it's entirely possible to live normally without your colon. The removal procedure is called a colectomy, which is usually performed to treat extant diseases such as cancer or to prevent potential future ailments from forming. Recovery from a colectomy isn't immediate, as it usually requires several weeks eating a liquid-only diet before reincorporating solid foods. The good news is those who've undergone a colectomy have reported a better quality of life afterward. In a 2015 study, 84% of respondents claimed their lives improved after having their colons removed. As part of a colectomy, a surgeon may connect the small intestine directly to the anus, thus allowing the patient to expel waste normally. Another option is to connect the intestine to an opening created in the abdomen, where a temporary or permanent colostomy bag can be attached to collect waste. While this latter option may take some getting used to, those who've undergone colectomies are able to acclimate and live a healthy life, even without a colon. Well, that brings us to the end of this very interesting and enlightening science episode. Please give us a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel. As always, head over to buymeacoffee.com/Samson King to make a small donation. We appreciate it. And as always, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.